Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the number one podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, what's poppin'? What's cracking with the people? Man, we had to come up here real quick because the 53-man roster has been announced, and we're going to give y'all a little bonus episode since there's no preview, no game preview to talk about. We're going to go ahead and hop up here and talk about this 53-man roster. Not too many surprises. I would say it's a pretty standard, because I think me and Dave did a pretty good job of predicting what was going to happen. A couple little gotchas. We'll talk about those. But Dave, what you think, Dave? What you think before we get into it?
Some folks that didn't make the team, I was somewhat disappointed in, but I'm not totally shocked. We had like maybe one surprise with all that speculation about them trying to shop certain players that were refuted later. So it was an interesting road to 4 p.m. to get to the final 53, to say the least. But it's about what we expected.
Yeah, it's about right. It's about right. And shout out to everyone that called the McCall pick. And you guys are right, but we'll talk about shout out to Bobby P. He said, "Yeah, I told you BZ was gone, and we're gonna keep McCall."
Yeah,
he's right.
Props to you, bro.
So,
you called that.
Yeah,
one.
so he did. And so real quick, we're gonna talk about everything. It was a busy day. I didn't get much done at work because I was following Joe. I was refreshing Joe Person Twitter feed like quicker than every 2 seconds. I was refreshing, trying to get the updated list. So I was updating the list, doing a running list all day of the transactions that were occurring. So if you were following me on Twitter, bro, you had everything minute by minute as they were getting released. I was updating the list. So you can actually go back if you go to Twitter right now and look at my whole Twitter feed from today. Me and Joe Person, I was following Joe Person. Every time he refreshed, I was refreshed, and I would update the list. So it was pretty cool. The shout out to Joe Person. Again, if you're not following Joe Person on Twitter, go ahead and do that because he was my source, my main source, not my only source, but my main source of cuts today. Shout out to Sheena Quick. She also provided some cuts. Shout out to Josh Klein from Riot Report. He also provided some cuts today. So make sure y'all follow all them on Twitter. But again, I was kind of taking all those tweets and having a running list. Nobody was doing a running list like I was. So shout out to that. All right. So, Dave, let's go ahead and run through this. We'll go through our predictions versus what actually happened, and we will go step by step through each one and give our thoughts. All right. So, quarterbacks. I mean, that was pretty obvious, and we do expect that Sam Darnold is going to go to short-term IR, which will free up a spot for the kicker. Like Dave said, we called that. Dave called that yesterday. Said that we weren't going to take a kicker. We weren't going to roster a kicker. We did not roster a kicker, and I have a feeling that once Sam Darnold is put on IR, short-term IR, then we will sign a kicker, and that will be that roster spot. So we're only going to have 2 quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, P.J. Walker. I think that was the plan once Matt Corral went down. I believe that was going to be the plan the entire time, and so that's what it is. All right. So, yeah, that's what happened. 3 quarterbacks. Let me see. 3 quarterbacks. All right, so that's what happened. 3 quarterbacks. All right. So the green is what happened. The blue is what we predicted. Okay. You want to go into any further discussions there? Okay.
Next.
All right. Next up, we had the running backs. So pretty straightforward as well. We called this one 3 for 3. They kept the 3 and we nailed the 3. So it's pretty straightforward here. Any thoughts on this?
Nah, and the order's right too. For all you fantasy heads, Donta Foreman's the handcuff that you need to have, guys, not Chuba.
A couple of running backs got released today, though, Dave. Duke Johnson got released.
Marlon Mack.
Yeah, a lot of guys got released.
In fantasy, I talked about the fact that I think it's Damian Wilson, I think his name the running back right now for the Texans, won that job, which meant trouble for Marlon Mack. So I think a lot of folks have Marlon Mack as an interesting caveat with the Texans, but that guy Wilson won that job, the running back currently for Houston, won that job easily.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake got
the contract, bro.
Yeah,
the contract. Yeah. And you saw who else the Raiders cut? They cut their first round pick from last year.
Yeah, Alex Leatherwood got cut, which is crazy to me, bro. That is ridiculous. We'll hold this one off for a little bit later, but that is ridiculous to me, bro. That is kind of insane that he got cut considering that contract.
After 1 year,
that's kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts, B. That is kind of nuts.
We'll talk about that and even though we're about to go to wide receivers next, and even though you guys went on my neck about the fact that I said Terrace Marshall could be gone, guys, don't be shocked because of the trades. They just let a first-round pick with a 5th-year option opportunity go.
Yeah, I think somebody's going to take a flyer on. I think he's going to clear waivers because we're talking about Leatherwood. He's going to clear waivers because of the contract, right? There's so much money guaranteed, and if somebody picks him up from waivers, they have to assume his contract. And so,
but if you have to assume the contract, you know what else that means? The 5th-year option.
5th-year option. That's true. So it's you have to weigh it out, right?
There's a way. Yep.
But I think he has so much left on his deal. I wouldn't worry about that 5th year right now. If you deem him a viable option at tackle, which nobody does, like as a starting caliber tackle, then I'm letting that thing go and I'm picking him up. I'm not picking up the contract, but I pick him up on waivers.
I got the name wrong. It's Damian Pierce, not Damian Wilson. I apologize for that. It's Damian Pierce for the Texans. You're right. He is going to be the RB1. And shout out to Akash Carney, and I hope I didn't butcher your names. Yeah, man. I want to shout out to BZ, but we'll talk about that when we get to the next position.
We'll go ahead and get to it because everybody's tagging me. I know, like I didn't see it. Like they're tagging me as if I did not know that Brandon Zylstra got released. Like if all people knows, I'm gonna know that Brandon Zylstra got released. So, fam, I understand. I get it. I don't know if y'all take some sort of like pride in like me. Like, what am I supposed to? I like Brandon Zylstra. What y'all want me to say? Like, I like BZ. He got cut. I knew as soon as Chenault got picked up yesterday, I knew he was kind of. And you see, I have these in order for a reason. So I knew once Chenault got cut, once we brought in Chenault, I knew he was in danger. I knew he was going to be in danger. And I thought Roberts could potentially get cut, but obviously they want him to return kicks. He's an all-pro kick returner and punt returner. So they want him to be back there. We hadn't seen him all preseason, so I was a little bit, maybe they cut him. So this is my list, and I thought they were going to cut Andre Roberts. It did not happen, and obviously Brandon Zylstra got cut, okay? Is he going to make it back to the practice squad? I don't know. I think he could potentially get picked up by somebody. I think
he might get picked up by somebody. And I'm asking, know what? I hope he does because there's a better check being on the NFL roster versus being a practice squad player. So I'm kind of hoping that he gets picked up and gets picked up through the wire.
Yeah. So just so everybody understands how the waiver wire works. If you get picked up, you have to go to the 53-man roster. Like if somebody picks up one of our guys, he's got to go to the 53-man roster. All right. So you can't just pick somebody up and then throw him on the practice squad. Nah, he's got to go through the waiver process. If somebody picks him up, he's got to go through the 53-man roster, and then that's how it goes. So if somebody deems him worthy of being on the 53-man roster, he'll get picked up. If not, he will clear waivers and then he can go to our practice squad. He still has eligibility, and I believe you can have like 6 veterans on your practice squad now. So he has enough practice squad eligibility and could make the practice squad. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come back. But yes, I do think absolutely Washington or Buffalo could pick him up because that's what happens to all of our guys. They go to one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So Yep. So so this was my prediction, and then this was what happened. All right. So red is one guy picked, and it didn't work out. All right.
Yeah, man.
So we
you
did
know what,
end up
man?
keeping
Like
7 though.
they did end up keeping 7. But one thing I do want to say, Brandon Zylstra was the first interview we did when we started interviewing NFL players. So I respect the hell out of Brandon. I hope he's able to get picked up over waivers. If not, I hope he makes it back to the practice squad. And I'm pretty sure he will if he doesn't get picked up by another NFL team. But I mean, he was a good special teams contributor. Part of the reason why I thought he was still had a shot to make the team was because of that. I think it complicated things with everybody else that was on the roster. It put Rule in an interesting spot because when you start talking about availability, it made it very difficult because Brandon did what was needed for the team. He was a football player. That's why I thought that was a big factor of him getting through.
Yeah,
so
and
Brandon, if you're watching, bro,
yeah,
I'm
and I also
hoping you get picked up somewhere.
My bad. I also think with BZ, I think his injury, like he got the hamstring injury, like at the wrong. It was a terrible time to get injured. Towards the end of the camp, and missed the last preseason game. And they just decided to go elsewhere. You'll see those special teams contributors elsewhere, especially when we get to the safeties. You'll see guys like Sam Franklin, and you'll see guys like Stanley Thomas Oliver. That's where they're going to get the special teams contribution, not Brandon Zylstra this time. Because you can see this list, other than Andre Roberts being the return specialist, there are no guys that contribute to special teams. And so, like Dave mentioned yesterday, Higgins does. My bad, Higgins does too.
Higgins does.
I did say that yesterday, though. I said Higgins could make BZ expendable because Higgins plays special teams. So again, we'll see what happens. And again, like Dave said, BZ, the reason why we like, for everybody that's new here and may not understand, the reason why we like BZ so much is because he did give us the first opportunity to interview an NFL player. He was the first NFL player we interviewed. And because of that, we contributed to his scholarship fund, and we just had a good relationship. We interviewed him twice. We love BZ at PNP, so definitely got to give him his flowers. And again, I hope he lands on another team. And I'll be cheering for him for sure. He's one of those guys that, on a personal level, f all that fan shit y'all be talking about. On a personal level, I rock with BZ on some personal shit. Like this ain't no like y'all just be talking. Some of y'all just be talking shit because y'all don't be knowing players. This is some personal shit. That's why I rock with BZ. All right, that's why we rock with him so heavy. All right. So anything else on BZ?
Like, here's the thing, man. When I tweeted about the fact that this is a tough day, I'm serious about this. It's a tough day for these players, bro. There's folks whose livelihood is going to be impacted big time. And I think as fans, sometimes we lack that perspective because you think these folks are making a lot of money. It's still their livelihood, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you worked at a job and they pretty much said, all right, we're going to have 90 players, we're going to have 90 workers. And in about a month and a half, we're going to drop this down to 53. So it's still their livelihood. So I'm rooting for BZ to get picked up somewhere. If not, hopefully he gets back on the practice squad.
Yep. Shout out to BZ, man. We ain't going to turn it into a BZ Debbie Downer podcast. We love BZ. Y'all know that because everybody tagged me when he got cut. Like I didn't see it. But shout out to BZ, man. Shout out to BZ. And we'll be hitting him up. Hopefully he makes it back to us. But like Dave said, the NFL contract, when you're on a 53-man roster, is more valuable. So we hope he get his money. And so we hoping he lands on another roster. If not, he'll come back to the Panthers and we'll talk to him again. All right. So
we can talk to him if he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he'll still talk to us.
That's true. He'll come back.
Yeah.
All right. Keep that same energy when Sam get cut. Nah, that's different.
We ain't interview Sam.
All right. Yeah, we ain't interview Sam. All right, moving on. Tight ends, Dave.
We got this one
Ian
wrong.
Thomas. We did. We got this one wrong, Dave.
Well, because you know why? And I know why. Like when I saw the final cuts, I said, you know what? We did it again because what happened, they count Rishi as a fullback, just like they did last year, and underestimated the fact that if they're going to put him as a fullback again, then, they're going to heap 4. And that's what happened. So
yep, they kept 4.
Survives.
Yep, they kept 4, kept Stefan Sullivan, which is interesting. I'd like to see him on the field, but we talked about that a little. We talked about that in the creators chat. I did, at least. I don't think he's going to get a jersey when it comes to we talk about players that suit up on Sundays. I think he'll be on the inactive list more than he's active. So we'll see.
Well, the three players that we picked are pretty much the guys that are going to get a jersey every Sunday. Because it's a tough sell to have 4 tight ends when you only got 46 players. And Giovanni plays 2 positions. Trimble,
correct.
They're going to play more 2 tight end sets. You're going to have Ian and Trimble out there. And maybe occasionally Richie if you want to put a fullback in there. But yeah.
Yep. No, I ain't mad at that. I like Stefan. And we interviewed Stefan Sullivan too. So shout out to Stefan Sullivan. We interviewed
and Trimble.
Wow. And Tommy Trimble. Shout out to Tommy Trimble. We interviewed Tommy Trimble as well. So we interviewed a lot of these guys, man. Good dudes. I'm happy for Stefan. He dealt with a lot this offseason. I believe he had a death in the family. So he missed a lot of camp. And so, it's good for him that he made the roster. So shout out to him. And he had a rough week 2, bounced back a little bit in week 3.
Yep. And Babbitt's, I think, has a shot at the practice squad there.
Yeah, Babbitt's will make the practice squad. I like Babbitt's potential. We talked about him when the free agent list came out, when the undrafted free agent list came out. I liked him a lot. He has that receiving ability. He's athletic. And we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens with Babbitt's. Thompson, I think, will also probably come back to the practice squad because they like Colin Thompson. I like Colin Thompson. As a guy, I like Colin Thompson. He's a good dude. Always talks to the fans at training camp. He's a good guy.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. I skipped the slide here, but anyway,
it's all right. I actually got this one right because I said we're only going to keep 9.
Yep, you did. Dave got it right. I got it wrong. Deontay Brown was one that, again, a little bit of favoritism here. I wanted to see Deontay Brown on the roster. I thought he would make it. He did not. I think we're good though. I like the 9 right here that we kept. I'm not mad at this at all. Other than
here's the thing,
Irving, I think we can upgrade off Irving, but other than that, we're good.
Yeah, but here's the thing for me. I'm bothered by the fact that we really screwed the pooch at the end of that draft, bro. Like across the board, drafted Thomas Fletcher, Deontay Brown didn't work out, had Trey Smith right there. God,
yeah, but I ain't mad at them trying on Deontay, bro. That's
no, I'm not mad at them trying on Deontay. My point is that we had opportunities to get to potentially fix this issue, kind of the same way I feel like they floundered with Brady Christensen at left tackle. Same concept, and we just didn't do it. Like I think that's a testament to the coaches too. But I digress.
Yeah.
These are the 9.
Dave, when we ready to have this conversation about Alabama offensive linemen, though?
Bro, we could listen.
I'm just being honest. When you ready to have this conversation?
Listen, man, let me tell you something. You always got to be wary of players that you grab from teams that have a lot of NFL prospects because you don't know how much they benefit from having so much talent around them. It's the same thing with some of the Alabama corners too, like Drake Kirkpatrick. Remember him?
Yeah.
So like same concept, right? That's why some people, when they were talking about Mac Jones last year before he got drafted, they wasn't sure if he was legit or not because he had all this talent around him. So then when you have a quarterback that's got to go through the grain, struggle, figure everything out, ain't got no good linemen, ain't got no good wide receivers, and still making that shit happen. That's different than having everything around you. Because in the NFL, you're not going to have everything around you. So, yeah. Kind of hard to tell sometimes, man. But that's with any position.
It is. All right. So, yeah, that's the offensive lineman. We kept 9. I was wrong. I thought we were going to keep 10, including Deontay Brown. We did not. It is what it is.
He was a first-round pick. Drake Kirkpatrick was a first-round pick. So was he worth the pick that was taken? I don't think so. I mean, Deontay Brown didn't work out, but the man was a 6th-round pick. He was a 6th-round pick. And this is the guy that didn't give up a sack his entire career there at Alabama, right? Or at least for both of his career. Definitely his last year.
Do you have Deontay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Deontay, I don't think he ever gave up a sack.
Yeah, he never gave up a sack his entire college career. So, all right. Move on, man. We got the 9.
No, I didn't. It's actually Stefan. I spelled it right. For Stefan Sullivan.
It sounds like Stefan, but it is Stefan. It's spelled Stefan, but it's Stefan.
Here we go. All right, moving on. Defensive line, Dave. Defensive line.
I was worried about Daryl, bro. I was worried, and I talked about it yesterday.
Yep. Daryl Johnson. Again, this is another one where you see we got the A&T shirts on. This is another one where my favoritism kicked in a little bit. So I thought Daryl would.
And we traded an asset for him.
We did trade. We traded a 6th round pick to get him for Buffalo a couple years back. He did not make the roster, got cut. Also, we kept Phil Hoskins and Marquand McCall. Now, let me just say this before, because I see a lot of people taking victory laps. I told y'all McCall, blah, 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 blah. Cool. I like McCall. I'm not hating. But we kept, what, one? Let me see.
10. Kept 10.
Yeah, 10 defensive linemen, right? And we kept 5. Look at 6, excuse me, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 interior defensive linemen. That ain't gonna stick, bro. Somebody getting cut. That's not gonna stick. We're not keeping 6.
But you know when that somebody, when somebody's gonna get cut.
Who?
When it's time to get Sam Darnold back into the fold.
Yeah. They got him listed. So they got him listed as a defensive end, but bro, fam is 350, 60 pounds, bro. McCall's a big human being. He ain't no defensive end.
He's a 3-4 type of defensive end with that type of weight, bro.
Right. Unless he's a 5 tech deep in a 3-4.
All right, we got almost 500 people watching. I need you guys to get this like up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
That ain't,
man.
I said what 3? Let me check what he listed at, man. My bad. That's a big dude, bro.
Let's see, Marquand McCall.
You got him as a D.
6'3", 345, man. He's listed as a defensive tackle on ESPN. Man. Yeah, he's listed as a defensive tackle on ESPN. So
yeah, they probably haven't updated it yet. Let me see. Yeah, 60. No, he got 380, bro. He listed on Panthers. He's listed as a defensive tackle on the Panthers website, 380 pounds. That man's not a defensive end, fan.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you there, sir.
He's a DT. We got 6 defensive tackles, bro. 6 defensive tackles, fam. That dude, that's not gonna stick. Somebody.
Yo, real talk. I'm gonna ask you a random question. I'm gonna see how you're gonna laugh or respond to this. Do you think they'll legitimately try to put 4 defensive tackles up on the line?
Or maybe 3? I can see a package for it.
They put like 3. Play like a 3-4 hybrid with 3 defensive tackles and have 4 have the ends, because we only kept 5 linebackers. That's next up. We only kept 5 linebackers. So then you have one of the like a Brian Burns standing up to go to be like an outside linebacker type of thing, and put 2 middles to get the speed there, and have the 3 defensive tackles chew up the offensive line.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see that happening.
I can see.
Phil Snow be creating shit, so you know what I'm saying. He might be out here trying to do this crazy 3-4 this 3-4.
But yeah, so
wild. Keep 6 DTs.
Just to stick with this though, I don't see us sticking with 6 defensive ends or defensive tackles, excuse me. But us to only have 4.
That's my point.
Edge rushers, that ain't kosher right there. I don't like that.
Dude, I'm telling you, look, I just told you what they're trying to do. They gonna put 3.
I don't care what
they
you're
about
talking
to put.
About. Nah, that don't mean. Nah.
Fam, they're about to put.
No. This is not staying. I can understand if you was. This is not week 1. We're not gonna have 6 defensive tackles, bro. We're not.
So think about it like this.
I hear what you're saying, Dave. That's not happening, bro. 6 defensive tackles is not happening, bro. It's not.
If they're serious about starting 3 DTs, it could.
Who said they're gonna start 3 DTs all the time? Nobody said that. You saying that? I'm
trying to listen. Let me roll with my look, man. Phil Snow be out here trying all this random shit. He be out here be like, well, what if we put a 380-pound guy in the center of all this shit? Then put 2 DTs and have Brian Burns coming at cat standing up.
That's called situational football. You're not gonna roll that out every down. They're not gonna have 6 defensive tackles, bro. Somebody is gonna get moved. We gotta get another. Let's have a conversation about the edge rushers. Let's have a conversation about the edge rushers, though. Right? Brian Burns, Yetur, Amari Barno, and Marquise Haynes. You cool with that?
I'm cool with Burns. I'm cool with Haynes. YGM hasn't showed enough yet. Barnum's new. Derek Brown, like I'm telling you, bro, I promise you, we're going to see 3 DTs in the front in no time. Not a doubt in my mind.
Dave, I agree that you're going to see it, but you're not going to roll that out. And you don't need to carry 6 DTs on the roster to do that. You don't need to do that. Dave, you preach this whole jersey thing all the time. You think 6 dudes going to get a jersey?
No, absolutely not.
No, it's probably going to be 4. We keep 4. In general, we keep 4 defensive tackles. That's generally how many you keep.
Do all 4 get a jersey?
We're not keeping
most
6.
of the time, no.
Bingo. So you're not going to keep 6 defensive tackles when maybe only half of those dudes are going to that. Don't make sense. All
right, so let's keep it a buck. Let's talk this through because we got to go to linebackers next. I think both of those positions are going to go hand in hand with this situation. How many DTs you think will get a jersey on Sunday?
I don't know. We got to go back to the inactives once again. I don't know.
But I think it's going to be different now because we got 6 DTs is my point. I think we'll have 4 DTs.
But what I'm telling you, though, is what we're not going to have 6 DTs going into week 1. It's not happening, bro. That is not happening. We're not having 6 DTs.
Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait until Monday. I can't wait till the Monday after the game, and we out here, and there's still 6.
We're not going to roster 6 DTs, bro.
I don't think 6 DTs are going to get a jersey on Sunday, but I think there's going to be 6 DTs on the roster.
No, we're going to have 5. One of those guys is going to get dropped, or moved, or traded, or whatever the case may be. They're going to move one of these guys, and we need to get another edge rusher. That's what we need.
Unless they feel like somebody like a Barno could stand up and go after cats.
I like Barno. I just don't know if he's ready for prime time just yet.
You know what I'm saying? I legitimately think they're gonna have in pass scenarios, they're gonna put 3 of them DTs in the middle, in the front of that line, and have like nothing but pass rushers. Like have Brian Burns standing up, having somebody like a Barno standing up, and then 2 middle linebackers and call it a day. Like a Shaq Thompson or somebody else in the middle. And call it a day to get the speed and the playmakers out there. And the 3 DT's job is to chew up that offensive line so they can go ahead and do different types of blitzes and things of that sort. So Snow can be unpredictable when it comes to it. I really do. I really think in past situations they're going to do that. But I agree. It ain't going to be something that they're going to start 3 DTs all the time. I just think it's going to be a situation where they're going to try to leverage certain things based on certain situations, which is why they want to have more DTs. I think Brian Burns is going to stand up more than he's probably ever had in his career. That's my prediction.
And this is a good point too. Shout out to DJ Moore DJ Moore had 10 drops. Robbie had 7.
Robbie had 7 last year. Jesus Christ, man.
So this is a valid point. Luvu does come off the edge. That still does not change my opinion that we need a true veteran edge presence. Like when Dunlap was available. That's what we needed, in my opinion. I think we needed somebody else. And again, that's not to take away from the guys, because I said this too, that I don't want to take reps away from the guys from the development. But if S is hitting the fan, I want to make sure there's a veteran guy I can throw in there just in case if those guys are getting abused out there. Barno, I love Barno. I think Barno's great, but I don't know if he could be. I don't know if he's ready for prime time like that.
So I'm looking at these. I'm looking at the weight of the defensive ends. So I'm looking and I'm like, all right. So if they're serious about doing but I'm looking at YGM at 265.
He's so the only one, bro.
Yeah, if they're serious about playing like a 3-4, you got to put him on the end, and then you probably could do 2 DTs if you're serious about it, and then maybe that might make more sense. Like you have you put the Daryl Brown on one side, put YGM on the other. And then if you want to get beefy, you put McCall in the center of that shit to be the space eater. And then you then you can have Brian Burns standing up, going after folks. Louvu standing up, going after folks. Speaking of which, let's get to the linebackers.
Yep, let's roll to the linebackers. Let's see. So we had this one almost right. Sorry, I got rid of one of the slides, but we had 5.
We had 6.
We had 6. We had 6. We had the top 6: Shaq, Frankie, Corey, Brandon, Damian, and Julian Stanford. Come to find out, Julian Stanford has an injury. He's gone to IR. So I think it's season ending. I'm not sure. The way it was announced, I'm not sure the way I'm not sure with Julian Stanford, but he did end up going to on injured reserve. And so that leaves us with 5 linebackers. Okay. And so we talked about the hybrid guys. And this is a good point that I want to make too, in that we have to stop trying to put guys in a box, right? And say, you are a linebacker, or you are a interior, you are a defensive tackle, you are this, you are that. Because in a great point by the Robbie Anderson guy that said Robbie Anderson had set less drops than DJ Moore, and that Frankie Louvu is technically used as an edge rusher sometimes. So yes, while he doesn't count towards the defensive end, he's used like one sometimes. So we can't just throw him in the quote unquote traditional linebackers box, because we have some positionless guys. Brandon Smith is the same way. I can make an argument that Brandon Smith could be one of those edge rushers too, because he can come off the edge. So we gotta get out of the notion of trying to put guys in a box. I've been saying that for a long time. I've been saying that for a really long time. Let's stop trying to, especially on the defensive side of the football. You got DBs, they can play nickel, they can play safety, all over the place. We got to get away from these traditional roles and just look at them as football players. And
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Considering, see now my gears are turning. Considering like the fact that Frankie can go off the edge, Brandon Smith can go off the edge, do you think they're going to try to have Shaq play more middle?
I don't know. We ain't seen Shaq all year, so I have no idea.
Just a thought. I mean, I know Damian's supposed to be slated to be the starting middle linebacker. Right?
Everybody been saying that, bro. We've been trying to put Shaq in the middle for years, bro, and it hasn't happened.
I'm just like, because think about it. Like, I'm just thinking about it from the perspective when you look at the fact that they kept 6 DTs and they only have 4 defensive ends. You look at the fact that somebody like a Brian Burns can't go after somebody standing up, right? So that's somebody that could potentially come off the edge unless they decide to still play a 4-3. If you look at somebody like, so then you look at somebody like a Frankie Louvu, like a Brian Burns that could come off the edge standing up. You could potentially put Shaq in the middle if you're trying to play a 3-3-5. So, yo, man, I am the biggest Brandon Smith supporter, yo.
Shout out to Zango. Appreciate the super
Shout
chat.
Out to Zango for the super chat.
We love Brandon Smith. We've been talking about I've been talking about Brandon Smith since before the draft. So you late to the party if you're just now talking about him in the preseason. I've been talking about Brandon Smith. I love Brandon Smith, but he did. And I'll eat this crow. I didn't think he was going to be this good this quick. And again, I understand that it was the preseason. I understand what he was going up against, but he did what he was supposed to do plus some. And so I like Brandon Smith. He did a great job the preseason. I got high hopes for the kid. I hope he can live up to him. But my projection was maybe a year or 2 down the road. I didn't think he was going to be this good right now. I think that's what makes them feel comfortable, maybe without a Julian Stanford right now, and kind of push him to IR because Brandon Smith and Dave was saying, I don't think he knew what he was talking about. He was just guessing, but Dave was saying that he could push for a starting role. And while I don't think he's going to start, I do think he's going to get more snaps than I thought he was going to get. I think we're going to see him on the field a lot.
But if you believe Matt Rule, there's no really such thing as starters because there's a lot of rotations within these positions anyway. They do a lot of changing of the guards, so to speak. Like the starter is basically the guy that comes out in the first play. If you get a jersey, you're going to get some playing time on the defensive line and the linebacker spot because they do a lot of rotation. There ain't too many of them that plays every single snap. Like Shaq's probably one of the only ones. You sit down and think about it. Shaq, maybe Brian Burns as well. And that's pretty much it. Everybody else is rotating around like crazy throughout the game. Nah, it ain't shade, bro. Look, I gotta give a shot credit to my man.
I like messing with Dave, man. I like full messing with Dave, bro.
look, man, he could throw all the damn shade he want. I got to give that man credit. He was putting that man in his mock drafts for a while, but when he drafted him and I started looking, I was like, well, shit.
Him and Brandon Robinson, because in the mock drafts, it made no sense that the man was falling to like the 5th round. He's better than that, bro. He had way too much potential. So I was scooping him in like the 4th, 5th round every single draft, and I'd be damned. In real life, that's where he fell. So I'm like, you got to take him. We ended up taking him. Same with Brian Robinson. And shout out to him for getting out the hospital. But I drafted Brian Robinson Jr. in every single draft. Every single mock draft, I drafted Brian Robinson Jr. And look what he came out and did in the preseason too. Ball. Because he's that dude. He ain't got that much, he ain't got as much tread on the tire, or he has a lot of tread on the tire because he didn't get ran through the ground like most of the other Alabama running backs did. So I was effing with Brian Robinson. He's gonna have a good career too. But anyway, all right, let's move on from the linebackers. Let's see here. DBs. We almost got this one right. I was one off from this one. The only one that I was off from was Sean Chandler. I didn't get Sean Chandler.
I was rooting for Tay Hayes, man, but
this is another one where I think Sean Chandler could be a casualty. Like if they want to, for instance, hypothetically speaking, if they want to carry the 6 DTs, I think Sean Chandler could be a casualty. I don't see him. Listen, he always makes the roster. I think he got some nepotism. There might be some nepotism built in with that. But Kenny Robinson, Dave, you want to talk about Kenny Robinson?
Yeah, we kind of knew he was in trouble the moment he got into them fights. Like the first joint practice, I was at the Patriots joint practice, and then I got my little COVID symptoms after the practice or whatever. Good thing I didn't run it. Good thing I didn't run into Sheena and Vastok, and I probably would have passed it along to them. Good thing I couldn't meet up with them that day because I didn't end up going on Wednesday. But I saw that he got into another fight on Wednesday, and that was the moment when I knew he was in trouble. Like I don't think there was going to be too much more he could have done to recover himself from that after that, man, because he provoked 2 fights at those joint practices.
Yeah, so the Kenny Robinson got cut. This is the second time getting cut. He'll probably end up back on the practice squad. Remember, we drafted him in the 5th round a couple years ago, and he got cut, and then we brought him back to the practice squad, and then now he's got cut again. I think he'll come back. I like Kenny Robinson game. He's not quite there yet. I'm a bit honestly with this. I'm a bit surprised that we actually cut Justin Burris. It made all the sense in the world because, like I said yesterday, I thought as soon as we signed Xavier Woods, I knew it was over for Justin Burris. But I'm a bit surprised they actually cut him. And then Tay Hayes, again, we love Tay Hayes, but I just knew we weren't gonna keep him, man. Once they said Stanley Thomas Oliver was a lock, I was like, man, ain't no way we keeping Tay Hayes, bro. Ain't no way.
But guys like STO is how Brandon Zilcher couldn't make the team because of the special teams play.
Yeah, STO and Sam Franklin which is another one I called yesterday too. Y'all y'all call me out for what I missed, but don't call me out for what I make. Sam Franklin was one I called because
Go ahead, man.
Like I said, Matt Rule called him out by name when mentioning in the same discussion that he called Stanley Thomas Oliver a lock. He also mentioned Sam Franklin. So once he said that, I knew it was a lock for your boy.
Well, the thing is, last night we were arguing between whether it was going to be Sam Franklin and Sean Chandler, and they both of them ended up making the team. So
yeah, it's so. And then Caitlyn Barnes is another guy. Again, we talked about Caitlyn Barnes. Y'all love him because he's fast. I try to tell y'all that speed shit don't matter. And Matt Rule, even when talking about him, he said, he got a long way to go. Every time they were talking about Barnes, he's fast, but he got a long way to go. Hopefully he can clear waivers, make it back. If he makes it back, he'll be a good practice squad candidate. And hopefully he can develop into a solid DB. Stanley Thomas Oliver, they're talking about Stanley Thomas Oliver in the chat. I think he's a good special teams guy. And again, we talk about this all the time on the show. You got to make yourself worthy somewhere. And apparently he has special teams value according to Matt Rule. Same with Sam Franklin. So that's what it is. But Burris, I ain't mad at Burris, bro. I'm not mad at Cannon Burris. I think
Xavier Woods into that run, man.
He did, and his contract is not that. It freed up some money in the contract as well. I can tell you in just a second how much it does. Let me see, cap space. Let's see, Justin Burris. Yeah, so cutting Justin Burris saves us 1.4. Oh no, just over 1 million in the cap. So that was a kind of a cap casualty too. He's one I called out for being a cap casualty way back in the day when we were looking at the cap. So yeah, Justin Burris, cut him. 1 million saved toward the cap. Most of that was not guaranteed money too, so it counts mostly towards the cap. We only owe him like maybe 400,000 in dead money, so it's not bad at all. So shout out to Justin Burris, man. Appreciate your services, bro. Overall cap right now, luckily I got it pulled up. Overall cap right now is 22. I don't know after cuts because it's going to be a couple onesie twosies out there. But as it stands right now, based on my calculations, I got 22 million. Just over 22 million. Let me check another source real quick. I might have a better number. Let me check. While we wait, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Though we got almost 550 people watching. Hit that subscribe button for your boys, man. Appreciate that.
While you set that up, I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick talk about Underdog Fantasy since we have these great viewers. So Underdog Fantasy is a good spot if you want to get into your best ball leagues. If you don't have an account, just go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the code PNP. It really helps out the channel. If you would deposit $100, they will match it, so you end up with 200 total. If you can only do 50, they'll match it to 50. They'll match up to $100. They do pick'ems. They do best ball tournaments. They'll do weekly tournaments to win you some money. And some folks can walk out of there with tens of thousands of dollars and even $1 million. And when it comes to the pick'ems, you do over-unders. You do an over-under slip. If you get 3 right, you get 6 times your money. If you get 5 right, you get 20 times your money. I've hit the 5. I've hit the 5 before. I've placed the bet for $25 and walked out with $500. So there ain't too many places where you can turn $25 into $500 by doing over-unders. So go to underdogfantasy.com, use the code PNP, and set up your account.
Yep. So yeah, that's I can't. It's the same number. They haven't updated the cap yet. We'll probably do that next Monday when they release all of the cap numbers and all the guys are moved off the roster. But right now, I have an estimate of about $22 million in cap space, which will put us in the top 5 easily in cap space.
We're gonna remember 2023 anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you got to remember cap. We got a lot of cap right now, but not so much next year. And speaking of that, Dave, can we have a quick conversation about Chauncey Gardner Johnson?
Sure.
Because let's go back. Let's talk about this because I think it's interesting. You got people that preach real quick. Let me just shout these super chats. Aggie Pride, shout to Maddie Matt, Aggie Pride to you, my brother.
Aggie Pride,
and shout out to Ernie Hardy, man. We appreciate the super chats. But let's talk about the cap situation. Oh, my fault. Let's talk about the cap because a lot of people say, "Oh, the cap is a myth," and yes, I'll be the first to say there's a million ways to manipulate the cap, but at some point you got to pay the piper, bro. It all comes back, and people don't talk about the people that you can't keep due to the cap. They always say, "Oh yeah, they did this and they did that," but think about the people that you let go. And case in point, Chauncey Gardner Johnson. The Saints tried to get a deal done with him. They couldn't get it done. And so what did the Saints do? They did exactly what we talked about yesterday. They went out and they got some picks for him. Not much because they don't have much leverage. They don't have much leverage in the deal. When you got a guy that wants to be extended and he essentially you don't see a way for it to work out, you got to trade him. Because guess what? He's going to walk away for nothing next year. I.e. Curtis Samuel, i.e. several people that it's happened over and over and over with the Carolina Panthers. So yes, it sucks that they got rid of a great player. See, I'm happy that he's out the South, personally. I'm happy that CGJ is gone. But there was no way that they were going to be able to keep him on that roster. And with all the other cap situations that they have, matter of fact, let's get into it real quick.
The bottom line is the Saints has always been over the cap, and eventually you got to pay the piper. And these players want to get their bag.
The Saints are $54 million over the cap next year. Next year, that's $54 million over the cap. There was no way they were going to be able to break the bank with CGJ and probably a bunch of other people that they have to re-sign. So they said, you know what, let me get something for them. It wasn't much. It was only a 5th and 6th rounder, something like that. Essentially the same thing we got for Dennis Daly. Not much, but they got something, and something is better than nothing. It's better than letting a guy walk away for nothing. Okay? So that's why moves like that happen, is because they have to get something for him. That's why they got rid of him. You don't just let a guy like CGJ walk. They liked him, bro. They liked him. If you think if there was no cap, you don't think they would have kept CGJ? They would have kept him.
They would have kept him.
They would have kept him. If money wasn't an option, they would have kept him. So he would be
on that roster right now if there was no cap. We always talk about the cap's a myth, but you got to pay the piper eventually. That's the way it's always been when it comes to the salary cap. Eventually, you're going to have to pay the piper, and sometimes it's going to be painful. Some of you guys that weren't around when we had both D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, and at one point we had them. They both was a top 6. They were 2 of the top 6 paid running backs in the National Football League. And eventually, you have to pay the piper because you can't keep restructuring it. Eventually, you're going to have to pay it one way or another.
Same thing with Teron Armstead, right? Same thing. They couldn't re-sign Teron Armstead either. So that's 2 major players that they lost. Nobody talks about that. Everybody, every time they re-sign somebody, the Saints, they did this. They look at what they did. Look at the voodoo contract that they did. Yeah, look at what they did. But they don't talk about the folks that they can't keep. Because they would have kept Armstead if they could. They would have kept him. If they could have re-signed him, they would have kept him. They went out, they got Penny. Penny got hurt. Now look. Now no CGJ, no Penny, no left tackle. Bro, I'm just saying. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, Dave, you want to finish this up? We got the specialists.
We know who made it. We didn't take a kicker like we called.
We didn't take
JJ and Johnny. It ain't gonna change
JJ.
the Thomas Fletcher guys. So, these are the breaks. These are the breaks. That's it. So shout out to JJ Jansen. And shout out to Johnny Hecker, best kicker and best punter in the NFL. We in here. We there. We'll probably have kick. We'll have kicker for week 1.
This is Cap. What's the tackle for the Rams that just retired? Played to like 40 years old. What's my man name? Didn't he just retire? Bro, it's tackles out there playing that's old as hell. And Teron got paid, didn't he? What did the Dolphins play him?
Andrew Whitworth. He was 40 years old, 16 years in the league. Andrew Whitworth, 16 seasons. He was 40. Left tackle, too.
Paid.
Hardest position on the line.
And we talk about 31.
And he was still playing at a high level, too. It wasn't like Whitworth was, done. He played at a high level.
Jared says he just wants to know why our cap is so bad in 2023 without a QB. That's
because I wanted to pay Christian McCaffrey.
No, it's not poor management. It's called restructures. Restructures is what's doing it. And I could show you better than I can tell you. Let me just throw this up on the screen real quick. So restructures is why Shaq Thompson has a $21 million cap hit next year, because he's restructured like 2 or 3 times. Right? Robbie Anderson, same thing, $21 million cap. That's because of restructures. C-Mac, same thing, restructures. Moton restructured as well. So we're into that cap game where we're playing we're doing what the Saints are doing. This is what the same thing the Saints are doing. We can get out of that $20 million easily. Like, this is nothing. We can get out of this. This is not that much. We can make that happen. It's not a big deal. So everybody relax. We can get out of this. So for certain guys, not every guys, or not every dude. Let me just show you a quick example. So you have to have a couple years left on your deal. Well, you don't have to, but it's only good to do this if you have a couple more years left on your deal. But I'll give you an example. Christian McCaffrey, he has he'll have 3 more years left on his deal. So if you go back and restructure that, I can drop. Why can't I see their full? There we go. So I can drop Christian McCaffrey's salary next year down to I'll be able to drop his salary down. So let me see. So we'll drop his down to $1 million. Again, you're prorating the bonus. So it'll be his cap hit next year will be $12 million instead of what it was prior, which saves about $7 million. So you can do that with a couple of other folks, like Taylor Moton is another one.
To make the money all guaranteed.
Yeah, Taylor Moton with the restructure here, you can restructure his, and you can get a little bit more money out of it. So you can save. You see how I got us down. Like, either you can get it down. You can get around it, right? You can get around it. But the problem with that is that it kicks the can, right? So 2024, look at that cap continue to grow, right? But the good news with that is that the cap also gets larger. So the salary cap. So salary cap gets higher. So as you continue to do the restructures, the larger these things go. So but there are guys out there to do it with. So we'll be good. We'll be good. Robbie Anderson, I don't think we can do it anymore with him because this is the end of his deal, I want to say. Yeah, 2023 to be the final year of his deal. Unless we extend him, there's no more years to give to him.
He's taking 10% of the cap too. Do you see that? 9.7% of the cap.
Yep, next year. Yep.
Whew, that's a lot.
I mean, you could add the voided years on, but then you're almost guaranteeing that dead money will exist in 2024. Rashad Sullivan. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So there's ways to get out of it. There's ways to get out of it. Like I said. So it's not that dire of a situation. This 29 million. And then Shaq is probably going to get another extension. I believe that was the end of his deal next year too. Yeah. So next year, finally, you can extend Shaq and then throw some. Then start to do that again with the restructures. Maybe extend him maybe a couple more years, and then free up some more space. So there's ways to get under it. We're good. No big deal. No big deal there. But like I was saying, again, at some point you have to pay the piper. When you do this,
just look at all you got to do. All you got to do is look at the Saints and understand that. If you pull up the Saints right now and see how ugly that shit is.
Yeah.
Y'all can get that understanding of what it's going to take.
Yeah, so once you start it, this is the thing with the restructures. Once you start it, you almost can't stop it. You have to continue to restructure and hopefully at some point the salary cap increases will absorb it. That's the kind of hope once you start the restructures. But yeah, you can see some of these cap hits for the Saints, right? Look at Michael Thomas, almost 30 million. Cam Jordan, an aging Cam Jordan, 25 million next year. Lattimore, 22. Ramczyk, 21. So they got some high ones too. 2024, same thing. And they're going to continue to do the same thing. Like I can show you.
2024, they might be all right, but I'll tell you what.
Well, it depends if they get a quarterback. If they get a quarterback. But no, once you start kicking the can, like Dave, watch how quickly that disappears. Like, for instance, if they're going to keep Michael Thomas, right? let's restructure Michael Thomas 2023, right? I kicked the can for him. 2024 is going to start to decrease. They probably won't do it with Cam Jordan because he's getting old. Marshawn Lattimore, let's restructure him. Right? It's going to continue to eat away at it. So the more restructures you do, the more you'll eat into your future cap. Yep. And so that's why you get into that, the gift and the curse with having Matt Corral, right? Matt Corral would be great if he can get on the field. He would save us so much money because we don't have to pay Baker. Now we got to figure out how to pay Baker and so many other people potentially that we might have some casualties as well.
We'll be hurting these streets, man.
So yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. Shout out to Nicholas, man. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, keep pounding. Appreciate you watching the show, man. Appreciate
you watching the show, man.
And exactly, this is why you need to draft well. 1,000%. That's 1,000%.
I guess there was some crazy. There was some crazy stat about Bill Belichick between like the last from 2018 to 2020. There's only 2 players left from players that they've drafted or something to that effect, which is kind of wild. But I've always said Bill's a hell of a coach. He's not a good draft evaluator. So you have to draft well, unless you got an elite level coach that can coach him up.
You got to be able to draft, man. Got to be able to draft. That's important. But overall, for today, for the 53-man roster, man, I again, no surprises. It wasn't too crazy. McCall was it. That was a good pick by everybody yesterday. That was hyping him up because y'all said McCall. I saw it in the chat. I saw y'all. Y'all lit it up for McCall. He made it. We'll see if he can stick. But yeah, second
Kentucky defensive tackle too, which is interesting.
380 is a massive human being, dude.
But I mean, like, because Hoskins went to Kentucky too, right?
Yes, Phil Hoskins and both of them went to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. They out here grabbing these Kentucky defensive tackles, which is interesting. I mean, Kentucky will never win SEC, but they'll always be in it.
SEC, dog. SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm retired, bro.
Speaking of fantasy, I'm about to open up that league. I'm about to open up the PNP league, and I'm going to be reaching out to folks to try to get everything rolling. Because Thursday, I'm going to have the draft. I got like 3 drafts tomorrow, so I can't do it tomorrow. So I'm going to do it on Thursday.
89J Stubbs, what's good with the tailgate, man? Let me know. I'm going to be outside. I'm not doing anything. I don't have anything planned. I was going to crash the Riot joint, but I'm not sure.
He was going to crash the Riot, man.
I got enough chips. I don't need you to tell me how to run a fantasy football business. I got chips. Oh, I thought that said fantasy. My bad. Thought it said fantasy football. My fault. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Dave, you want to try and chill out for a couple more minutes or close this thing out?
We got a little bit of time. I could take a couple. We can roll with a couple of things. I mean, I got another 15 minutes or so.
You want to open up the stream?
Go ahead. Yeah, we can have a couple folks in for a couple minutes.
Let's open up the stream. We're gonna open up the stream for the people. See what y'all want to talk about. Give me 1 second. I'll open up the stream, y'all, so we can get this thing, get some opinions. We like 30 subscribers away from 17,300, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it already.
Yeah, make sure you.
And we only we're only like 228 like, man. We got to get to at least 400 likes, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Come on now.
Yeah, man. Let's see what we got popping off over here.
All right, that's the link to join the stream if y'all want to hop in. Shout out to Landon. Landon, this is a Govee. It's a Govee light.
A what?
Govee. You can get it on Amazon. Pretty cheap.
Govee.
Govee. Govee.
Why wouldn't it be live on Labor Day? Yeah, the PNP draft is going to be Thursday. and we are going to be. I plan on being live on Labor Day. I'm flying back from Charlotte on Sunday, guys. As long as the flight allows me to, I'm flying Sunday. I'm flying home Sunday.
Yeah, man. So what's your thoughts on this whole Baker situation too, man? I ain't really in the know what's going on, man. I ain't even see the quotes.
So basically, the reports came out that Baker said, like, I'm gonna F the team up or something like that, something to that effect, right? But the reality is, the reporter said that, and Baker co-signed. So Baker theoretically didn't quote say that regarding the Week 1 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. So now she's out here trying to cop please. Now she regrets saying what she said, blah, 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 blah. So it is what it is. What's up, J Stubbs?
What's good?
Hey,
What's
Stubbs,
good?
What up, man? What's popping, bro?
So my question to y'all is, any surprises today, really? Or kind of figured, the main cats are the main cats?
No.
Yeah.
Like the ones that didn't make the
surprises.
team. Yeah, the only surprise I had was McCall making it, but you guys called that. But other than that, the folks that did not make the team, I wasn't like shocked. There was no craziness.
Like I know on the poll yesterday, we owe what's his name an apology. We got him cut.
Yeah,
he made the team.
Y'all got Roberts up out of here, bro, and he made the team. Shout out to Andre Roberts, man. Shout out. What Stubbs? What's good with the tailgate though?
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for Week 1, but I'll probably do a riot too, man. Me and my pops.
Yeah, I might crash that joint. I gotta see what's up.
Is it gonna be in the same spot, or I have no
idea.
I got the package in here. I hadn't opened it yet.
I don't know, bro. I'm not a rider like that. I don't be riding like that, bro.
Well, I signed up last year. They hit me automatically this year, boy. They didn't play no games.
They got you. They snuck it in on you. Pause.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's it. I just wanted to see what's up with y'all, man.
All right, bro.
Yeah,
we'll holler Week 1, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. Should be a good time.
All right, J Stubbs, I gotta go to the next person, bro.
All right.
Cardiac Cat 919, what's good with you?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sound good, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? What y'all think about looking at OJ Howard?
So here's the thing with OJ. OJ has all the raw ability in the world. He's athletic. For some reason, for some odd reason, he can't stick to a roster, and I don't know what's up. I haven't looked at him enough to know what the problem is with OJ. But I will most certainly, I probably wouldn't pick him up off of waivers, but I most certainly would try to sign him afterwards if I could, because I don't think we have a real receiving threat. I would take OJ over to Stefan Sullivan. Put it that way.
But here's the dilemma. It's about what we're trying to do, right? And I think if we're trying to be a run first type of offense, you're gonna need somebody that's a blocking tight end first.
Yeah, I get you.
And just so happens that can catch the pass. So I'm not sure if we could put OJ in that lane. I mean, my man couldn't. Kind of shocked he got cut this last round too. So like the man couldn't stick on the roster.
From the looks of it, though, I think that Trimble he's starting to do all right in the passing game, though.
Most certainly, I think Trimble. Yeah, I think Trimble he's definitely going up. His stock is rising. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from Trimble. That's why I said I would have OJ over Stefan Sullivan specifically. Like if you're gonna keep the 3 traditional tight ends in Stefan, Trimble, and Tommy and Ian, then I would keep Ian and Trimble and replace Stefan with OJ, and I think that would be a good fit.
Yeah,
because I think the thing with Trimble, I mean, he can knock folks' block off, and I don't know if OJ's got that type of nastiness in him. I'll be honest.
No, I don't think so.
He ain't got that type of nastiness in him.
I've been to training camp and everything, and I seen he's raw now. He get out there and do his thing.
Yeah, he's
but
if
he ain't willing to get in that middle and smack somebody, I think that's the type of tight end they want. Like they want folks that can block first. I think the passer is secondary to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about Trimble though.
Yeah, talking about Trimble there.
Oh, Trimble. Yeah, but I don't know if OJ got that type of nastiness, in my opinion.
Yeah. But one more thing. What about I think his name's Mayer, the kicker that Dallas just released?
I'll take any kicker at this point.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me to picking the kicker, bro. Whoever can kick, I don't know. I really don't. Whoever can kick well.
But the one thing I will say, I don't know who that kicker is gonna be, bro. But I hope to God he can kick, because we're going to be in a bunch of close games the way that we try to run, the way that we try to operate our offense.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, y'all hold it down, man.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Jay Issue, what's good, bro?
What up, fellas?
What's up,
going on, man?
So I have two questions with the wide receiver room. I'm not a big fan of TMJ, but
why? Before you go there, why are you not a big fan of TMJ?
He it might be early in his career, but he reminds me of Funches. He has too many injury problems. He's not on the field a lot, in my opinion. But
another guy that's available.
Yeah, I call him Funches 2.0.
Fair enough,
man. So how do y'all
haven't given us a reason not to?
Right. So how do y'all feel about him? And is he our third wide receiver?
Is he?
I don't know anymore, bro.
No, I don't think so. I think Higgins is the third wide receiver. I think Higgins is the third wide receiver because I think Baker's got that relationship with him. So I think Higgins is that guy, or you can make an argument that Shy is making that push too. Yeah. Shy is making that push to third wide receiver, but I don't think it's TMJ. I think TMJ is going to have a problem getting a jersey every week, bro. I think when you start thinking about who plays special teams, who's going to be able to start, TMJ is going to struggle to get a jersey on Sundays, bro.
Right. Yeah, I just have an issue with him. And we spent years with Funches, and we see how that turned out. So I'm basically want to cut his career short with us, but I'm probably the only fan that feel that way towards him. And then my second question would be,
you definitely aren't the only one, bro. You ain't alone in that bucket.
Sure, right.
All right. So my second question would be, the new wide receiver that we got, is he the replacement for Robbie for next year?
Nah. You talking about Chenault?
Yeah.
Nah, he not a replacement of Robbie. I think he just adds some sauce to our wide receiver room, but he can
carry the ball. He's big enough to be a running back, so he could probably put the offense in some unique situations in a Deebo Samuel type role to protect DJ Moore, so he doesn't have to do it as much.
Right. Okay. Well, those were my two questions.
Yeah, but with Chenault, man, I don't think I don't think I want Chenault lining up every down as an outside wide receiver or slot wide receiver for that matter. I think he's a gadget guy, which is not a bad thing. He's a gadget guy, and I think let's start looking at some of the other guys like Shy Smith. Like, can Shy Smith potentially replace Robbie? Maybe, but I don't know why we trying to replace Robbie so quick. What did Robbie do to y'all, man? Why are we trying to get rid of Robbie, man?
I don't know. I mean, I have a backstory behind Robbie, but he just I don't.
He try to line you up with the shooters, man.
No, he so the year that he fell off, his girl, they ended up breaking up, and I guess he took it to the field because I follow him on social media, so I seen they break up and all that, and then that's when it happened. But I'm not an expert, but. I'm just gotcha. I was hyped when we got him. I just hate that he fell off. So
because his quarterback play fell off.
Yeah, he gotta hold some L's too because he had some drops, B.
Yeah, he had
some pretty egregious drops. I agree that his quarterback situation fell off, but he gotta take some ownership too. It's gotta be some 50-50 fall off game because he fell off too a little bit.
Yeah, so do we re-sign Robbie or how do we move on with that situation?
We might just let his contract go. We just bring him back in 2023 and just let it walk. Maybe draft another wide receiver, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that considering we're only gonna have 5 picks next year.
Right.
I think Robbie gonna have a much better year than he had last year. We too quick to write Robbie off. And if he does, you could potentially extend Robbie. He's only 29. He's not even. How old is Robbie? He's not that old.
He's not 30 yet.
Shit. He's not 30, so you got a couple years that you could extend him, and then that'll provide some cap relief for those that are worried about his cap. But Yeah, he's 28 right now. No, 29. He's 29. So he could probably play a couple more years. Then you can make that decision. But as of right now, next year we pay him $21 million. And that's just what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, fellas.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate
Keep pounding.
Yep.
Keep pounding.
Couple more. We'll take a couple more calls and we'll close this thing out. But yeah, man.
Maybe one. We'll take one more, maybe two.
There's nobody. Oh, there we go. Panther Pickle. Panther Pickle, what's good, man?
Hey, man, what's up, guys?
I'm hanging in
man?
there.
That's good. I got a question real quick. Andre Roberts, do you think he'll make it to week 1, or do you think they'll drop him for, say, somebody they pick up in the waiver wire?
I think he's gonna make it.
I think Roberts locked
He's
in, man. I think I think they want that returnability. Again, we haven't had a good returner here since Steve Smith back in the day. I stand by that. And so I think they really want to improve on the special teams. I think he's gonna provide that. We haven't seen it yet as Panther fans, but
yeah,
I think they are they're locked in with that.
We ain't had an all-pro kick returner, punt returner since Steve Smith, but I think it was too bad.
Yeah.
Mid.
I'm just curious. I'm not a big fan of him, but like I said, if I see him return a kick and return and his ability, that may change.
Yeah, that's the thing with I'm the same way. We just haven't seen it, and that's what makes it a little frustrating. Not frustrating, but that's what it makes it a little difficult for us to understand. Is that the dude is an all-pro, and we haven't seen it, and we got him on his roster, but we have yet to see him in a game. Like, come week 1, hopefully we'll find a reason. We'll find out why they kept him, but I think he's gonna stay around for a while.
All right, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Have a good one.
All right, Dave. Y'all ready? Go. Okay. One more
call if they pop up. All right, this is the last one.
All right, you got it. All right. Moo, what's good? Oh, nope.
He left.
He left. You got one more chance. Maybe that was an accident.
No.
We'll give you one more chance to jump back in. Hit that pin link in the comment if you want to jump in on the stream. We'll stay up about 3 more minutes, and then we get up out of here.
Yeah, and make sure you like, man, because we're still at around 250. We can get those likes up. If you haven't liked the channel already, go ahead and like that channel. And subscribe too, man.
With 500 people watching.
We do some pretty cool shows. Once the NFL season starts, I'm going to start doing my fantasy Q&A the morning of the Sunday mornings. I'll start doing my live Tuesday show to go over waivers and things of that sort. So we're going to be having a lot of things popping off soon.
Man,
I'm getting ready to start doing these drafts for these leagues too, man. These money leagues is about to get wild and crazy. I'm going to send the payments out later today.
Y'all get us at least at 300 before we close out, man. Get us at 300 likes before we close out. It's only a couple more people.
Just hit the like button. It's free, guys.
Anything else? Hit that like button, man. We appreciate that. Appreciate y'all support. Anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Don't look like anybody trying to pop in.
Nope. All good.
Y'all be out here scared in these streets, man. I'll be out here.
All right, let's get up out of here, man. Let's get up out of here, Dave. So, like I said, we won't see y'all again until next week, next Monday. And so, that being said, make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel, or like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. You never know, we might go live for some breaking news. If we make a trade, something happens tomorrow, we might go live. You never know. So keep up with us. That being said, always remember, underdogfantasy.com. Use the code PNP when you sign up, ladies and gentlemen, and get your deposit match. Hey, Aggie Pride, shout out to the Aggies. See y'all in Charlotte. I'm not gonna highlight that other one below it, but Aggie Pride.
No, we're not doing that. But I'll see y'all in Charlotte.
We'll see y'all in Charlotte.
And
the other
for those who follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna be in a couple Twitter spaces talking about the Dukes Mayo Classic, Aggie Eagle Classic tonight. So you should be able to see it if you follow my individual account on Twitter, Champ D1012. So for all the Aggies and Eagles, if y'all want to talk some banner, go for it. But all right, I'm out tonight, guys. Peace out.
All right, peace out, y'all.